Folks, welcome back to one of the most popular quintuplet young ladies in the good old Weeb Weiss world. So today we are doing what we do best, folks, and we are going to go onto the journey of a half case opening. As you all know, we've done some of these recently. We got one or two left in the queue here, and man, sometimes they do good. We did the fruit set, and that was a tougher one, not gonna lie. The one before that was absolutely phenomenal. So today, my patron, Arik, all the way in Buffalo, New York. Sit back, relax. We're going to churn and burn packs. We're going to talk about quintuplets. And essentially, we're going to talk about the state of Weiss. And yes, the new Nikki girl's coming. And we're going to kind of go over everything, okay? So, first things first, if you're new here and you don't understand what you're doing, I don't even know why you're here on this channel. This is a channel we live the cardboard life, everybody. They look very unhappy. And essentially, on this YouTube channel, we talk about the players, collectors, and evil investors of all the different trading cards in the universe, everybody. Well, right now, we are hunting high-end chase cards from the beautiful Quintuplets 2 series. So if you're new here, keep in mind, this is what we're doing on the back. We got 5 SSPs. Oh, okay, so we got SSP, and we have an HYR, like a kind of a specialty rare. Oh my god, and an overframe 10? Okay. It's 74 SRs? Whoa. Okay. Well, let me tell you what we're not going to get every card of. Holy smokes, that's a big variance of chase cards. Alright, so first things first, quintuplets. We have the original quintuplets in the old booster box style. This is Quintuplets 2. I believe there's a Quintuplets movie, and we just had the most recent, which is important to know, we just had the most recent Quintuplets Premium box come out recently. Now, when the most recent Quintuplets Premium set came out, we had a pretty big market shakeup, everybody. Well, if you go on TCG Player and you look at the open market, there we go, our first SR. My God, 74 of these? What's the entire parallel set? My goodness. So we just had our very first, I don't want to say a buyout, but a lot of people went back and, is she wearing anything? Her hair is very healthy, but I'm just a little concerned she's going to get cold. I don't know, I'm just a little concerned about that piece of art there, everybody. I just, you can catch a cold or get sick or anything, I just don't want her to get sick. She, at least she has a towel, but that other young lady, she's happy to see me, and we can ring some bells there. But anyways, so right when we had an interesting market shift happen, everybody, that I want to talk to you guys about. So right when we had the premium quintuplets release, that pushed a lot of people who, well, maybe didn't own some of the older quintuplets. We had a pretty interesting market shift. The original quintuplet set, and this one, number 2, I don't want to say they got bought out, but there was a massive demand spike that nuked the market on this particular product. This set alone, we have chase cards between $100 and $400 a card, okay? So it's, you open a $50, well, these aren't $50 a box anymore. The market got hit pretty hard on the last release and everything got wiped out. So essentially, well, that's box 1. That's all we got there. We got 1 SR there. It looks like when the premium set came out, it really revitalized the demand for a lot of quintuplet cards, interactions, and maybe people building decks or collecting the quintuplets products. I've seen that before when it comes to like for example, when they make a new Reincarnated as a Slime, I've seen demand spike for the previous sets. And people who maybe didn't have access or maybe didn't have cards from the other ones, they were building a deck, they're actually playing the game. I know, it's crazy. Wait, Rudy, it's a real card game? I thought this is just a set where we collect all the healthy ladies. No. This is actually a card game, folks. I don't know if people realize that. It's owned by Bushy Road. I don't know why people... Rudy, nobody plays Weiss, it's dead. Rudy, I don't know how Weiss... Folks, you guys... Are people aware Weiss is going on like 15 years old now? I don't know if everybody realizes how old this card game is. Alright, we got the Reckless Miss Nino over here for our second SR. Well, I hope we get more than just 1 SR per box. I thought with 74 parallels and SRs, we would actually, I kind of thought we were going to get like 2 per box, to be honest with you guys. There were so many. But the reason I'm bringing up this story is that I think this is a really important lesson for everybody to understand in these older products that come and go from years ago. It doesn't take much to swing the market. She still didn't get a jacket or a towel. She's looking to her. She must be interested in something on this side of the camera. I don't know what's going on with that. And I think it's important for people to remember that's how quick things can change. Like, I remember there was a period of time you had 3 or 4 stores dumping this set right here, quintuplets too. And there was like 3 or 4 sellers online for like $30, $40 a box. I was like, really? Like, like, ooh, okay. Hey, so okay, we can get 2 in a box. Okay. 2 SRs in this thing. I was like, dude, there's so many SRs. Beautiful. God, look at the background of that. I was like, how can we not get more than 1 in a box? Goodness gracious. And it just, I think it's important people to understand that, you know, all it takes is 1 piece of news or a new announcement of a new set. And, you know, well, a couple people, stores or employees who had their listing, their leftover boxes for 30, 40 bucks. Well, just so you guys know, there's less than 50 boxes of this even left online for sale. TCG Player has been pretty nuked heavily on supply. And, you know, so, because like for a year, you could buy these boxes for as low as 40 bucks from some shady stores. I'm sure they're probably mapped. But you could have still done it, even if you just wanted a cheap SR or just crack some packs with friends. But, you know, all it takes is 1 news or 1 change in the market. And, well, just like that, the market's wiped out, the prices of the boxes double, and now you really can't get much of this stuff. And those are the kind of things that we always talk about on this YouTube channel when it comes to different, you know, collectibles and games. Everything from Magic to Pokemon. We don't really talk much Yu-Gi-Oh, but like One Piece and Flesh and Blood and everything going on. Beautiful, beautiful. Wait a minute. So is that 3? That's 3. Wait. Is that 3 SRs in a box? Holy crap. That's 3 SRs in a box. You can get... Wait a minute. Holy smokes. Did we miss one in box 1 then? My goodness, that's so many. No, I don't think so. Maybe just box 1 was weak. I was like, holy cow, that's amazing. Yeah, I guess we just missed one. I'm sorry, I guess we just didn't. I was like, oh my god, did we really only get 1 in the first box? I guess so. We only got 1 in the first box? I don't think we've ever opened a box where I've gotten 3 SRs in a single box. Okay, well, if there's 74 of them. Wait a minute, are the SRs worth anything? I was like, hang on a second. If there's that many of these things, and you can get up to 3 in a box, holy smokes! Even if they're $5, $10 a piece, my goodness, that's a pretty high expected value. Because of course, you know, when you hit the big stuff, it pays for like, you know. See, let me give you guys a little lesson in the world of Weiss. Most stores don't sell loose boxes. Okay, most LGSs. They order 1 or 2 cases, or maybe 3 or 4 cases of each Weiss release, okay? And then what happens is, the store, most of the time, will have an employee open a sealed case, which these are older ones, these have 18 boxes per case. And what they would do is they would keep opening packs until they hit a case hit. You know, maybe a $3, $4, $500 card. Let's say they find that in what, box 2, box 3, box 4, whatever. So when they hit that card, well, they got all the bulk single cards and the SRs. They just doubled and tripled their money. And they'll sell the rest of the boxes at a loss or break even from the same case. So that happens a lot. Now, many other times, beautiful, beautiful. Look what we got here. Dang, this is nice. I love how you get more of them, though. Runaway Train of Love. Come on. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Very cool. Okay. And, you know, I wonder what this set would be like if you actually did a mass box opening on it then. If you get that many chase cards. I got somebody give me a check on TCG Player. All the SRs, there's 74 of them. Do any of them have like value over $10? Or are they all like bulk cards? Or because these chase cards, all the quintuple, I mean, are any of them like actually expensive? Or are they all like a couple dollars? Because that's quite interesting. Not the rares, not the double rares. I mean, just the chase stuff. Because man, if you get that many of them. Because again, like in this, you always get the double rare there, then you get your single rare. I'm talking about like the fancy, super flashy hit cards. That's kind of what I was referring to there. Ooh. Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen. Ooh. Well, Arik, look at this. We have 6 boxes left to open. We've already got 5 SRs, and we just hit our very first case. Nice hit here. We got an over-the-frame, wholehearted maiden Miss Nino. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful card, everybody. Our first big hit. I don't know the financial value of how expensive or cheap that card is, but again, those are the type of card. That's what makes cracking Weiss packs the best. You want to hit the crazy stuff. Because, man, oh, that's where the big money is. That's where the collectors and collectors and evil investors, they love the super rare chase hits from Weiss, man. That's where it's there we go. God, you know what? After doing like the fruit set, I love that you can get more than one SR in a box. It feels so much more enjoyable than getting a box with like nothing or just one card in the whole box. It feels so much nicer. I feel like, I don't know. I know even if the cards aren't worth as much, it just feels better to constantly be able to getting more pulls, you know? But I don't know. What makes them... Anybody comment in the comment section? Why does Weiss and Bushy Road design? Why don't they have a consistent rarity system or anything? Why is each one so different? Can anybody comment that? Does anybody have an answer to that? Like every Weiss set has different types of rares, and some have over the frames, and some have one SR per box. And well, this one, she still doesn't have a towel. This poor young beautiful lady's gonna get sick. I mean, she's not wearing anything. It's very unsafe, everybody. She needs to be in a warm bedroom or something. I'm telling you, that's just not. Ooh, is that our first triple rare? I think it's our first triple rare. That is our first. No, over the frame. Wow. Holy smokes. Wait, is that the same box? Or no, I just opened another one. At the world as she leaps. How many are there? There's 10. Okay. Well, this is a good box opening so far. See, at least she has a towel. She looks more comfortable. Anyways, but yeah, the world of Weiss is approaching 15 years old now, and it's been quite an interesting journey of how Bushy Road manages the game, the IPs and everything, and you know, going into 2025, 2026 now, there's a lot of chatter. Well, Rudy, you know, with Union Arena and HoloLive and all these hundreds and hundreds of new games to compete with Weiss, or you know, are they going to be able to make it with the anime? I was like, folks, do not. First of all, Weiss in Japan, Japanese Weiss, non-English, is massive. Do not underestimate the side. The actual English Weiss market is actually the small market, everybody. I just don't know if you guys realize that. This is actually the smaller market. Beautiful, beautiful SR there. Loves Vexations. Miss Miku. God, I feel like we're getting a lot of hits, and I'm sure you guys are just saying this is normal for maybe this particular set. But dang, what a different experience compared to the Weiss set we did a few days ago with the old Fruit of Mrs. G. It doesn't even feel like the same card game. The pull rates and all the variances and everything. My goodness. I guess that's so weird to me. I guess it's kind of like how Magic and Wizards, they always have a new frame or version of a card, or you know, every set's a new textured variant or a style of foiling. They always got, I guess that's kind of the angle now, kind of have different variants and versions of things to get people interested maybe. I'm not really sure. It's just definitely kind of a weird vibe to it, you know? All right, anyways, so we're wrapping up here. I can't believe I'm saying this, but we are approaching halfway through the video already. I felt that right there. I could tell. Beautiful, beautiful SR again. What is the name of that one? Spur of the Moment Reply. God, look at the pulls. So I'm assuming, like, was this a heavy printed set? Because this was a set that came out still in the weaker market. This was still, I believe this was still bear market time, right? So things were very, very weak. The print runs were skewed. Stores were probably over ordering, I think. I don't remember. Or maybe it was the end of it? Wasn't this like, it was 2023 or 2024, right? Or the end of 2023? It's like, I don't think so. It's like, I don't recall if the print run on this was a big deal or not. Beautiful, there we go already. SR, the Miss Nino's Little Outfit. But I just feel like certain things, like I said, I always tell you guys, when you have IPs like Azure Lane or HoloLive, and of course on this video today we're doing quintuplets, you know, Slime, certain things, you know, in the past, Attack on Titan, you know, a lot of these very large brands and names, they carry a pretty big following, everybody. And that's like, coming up here, we have the old Mrs. N, the old Nikki girls, Nikkei. The Goddess of Victory is going to be an incredibly monstrous Weiss release, which, depending when you watch this video, that is coming up the following week, mid-April, everybody. Beautiful little Loves Vixie. It's our first duplicate. That is our first duplicate on the chase card. But yeah, we have, I think by the time you watch this video, mid-April is the Nikki launch. I think I'm doing my sale. Weiss Wednesdays will be Wednesday night. So that's what, April 15th or 16th? Whatever the Wednesday is in the middle of the month, you guys. So I do have an extremely large position of it because I bet really heavy. Because I knew when I first heard about this was going to be a really big one. Now, the market on TCG Player is quite extreme right now. We got a lot of sell-through. It has the Nikki set has the most amount of pre-sold boxes in demand I've seen on a Weiss set in a very... Arik! You know what that is? That's an SSP, my friend. I saw the gold signature. Oh, beautiful. There is nothing bigger and better in the world of Weiss. Look at that gold and look at that signature. There it is. The Grand Mac Daddy of the Weiss world. How many are there? Only 5. We got one of the big 5. Well, congratulations already. Hey, maybe we'll get a second one. Maybe we'll get lucky on here. But man, what an absolute banger of a video. Holy smokes. We've got fantastic pool rates. We've got great hits. And we've already got an SSP pool halfway through the video. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we'll get a second one. But man, what an absolute home run of a video today, everybody. Congratulations, Arik. That is what we like to do on the Weiss videos. Which we try. Sometimes, as you saw in the other video, sometimes when you open these things, it doesn't always work out. So many times it does, but as you guys have seen, you know, we do a Pokemon Rudy's bathroom, or we do a Weiss video, and you know, we don't always get really great results, everybody. It is different every time. So now we are approaching box. What are we at? Is this 5? 6? I think this is box 6 already. Holy smokes! And see, this is why, you know, back in the day, I would do Weiss openings with you guys on YouTube, and I was only doing like 2 or 3 boxes. And sure, the videos were shorter, but we didn't get to see or experience enough of the cards. You got to churn and burn some packs. We got to look for the good stuff, everybody. If we're only doing like 2 little boxes in like a 6-minute video, we don't get to see everything. Ooh. We got the old running. And there she still didn't have a towel. There she, beautiful SR, everybody. I feel like, never mind. We're gonna let it go. No more Rudy memes and jokes. We're gonna let it go, everybody. Anyways, so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens over the next couple of years as we continue out of that COVID era of the card world. Golly, really? Dude, Quintuplets just pumps out the cards. Reckless misses end. Holy smokes. I guess I'm just not used to seeing... Usually we do these Weiss openings. I'm just not used to seeing multiple hits like that. I mean, jeez. I don't think anything's going to beat the other one we did, though. What was the box 3? No, box 2 in this video. Box 2 arc, we have 3 SRs in a single box. I've never seen that before. That was the first time I had ever witnessed that much of a pull rate in a single Weiss box. I've never seen that. And honestly, I don't think we see it again. I think it was a fluke. 3 just seems really... That just doesn't seem normal, that's all. I get having a second one in a box, but 3... I felt that. Ladies and gentlemen... A single lie. Quintuplets 2. Triple rare, everybody. Beautiful. What a see. God, this might be one of the best Weiss openings we've done in a long time. I mean, we're getting such a variety. We're hitting everything. We've gotten literally the over the frame. We've got the triple rares. We've got the case hit, man. Like, holy smokes. Like, I have no idea. I'm very curious after this video. I'm going to go on TCG Play and price check some of these things. I mean, even if the case hit, the signature one, even if that's a couple $100 right there, I mean, that card alone will probably pay for half the video, just a single card. Maybe more than that. I don't know. It depends. Like, I know if the bad one's $100, a good one can be up to 500. I mean, that's crazy, man. That's why you get bad behavior in Weiss. That's why a lot of people go to a local store or something, and they'll buy loose. And again, never buy loose packs of Weiss. Never walk into an LGS and be like, oh, wow, some loose packs. Even if they're $2, $3 a pack, It doesn't matter how cheap they are. They could be $2 a pack. I do not recommend you ever buy loose packs unless you are literally best friends with the guy and you trust them, because loose packs of Weiss are, I mean, you could literally pull the SP and the Chase and then just not open any more in the box. Like, extremely dangerous, everybody. The odds are you're just buying dead product, you know? That's why you never ever do that. Like I said, even loose boxes of Weiss are already on the riskier side, but at least you have a little bit of a chance, and maybe you can get a lucky box where you get 2 or 3 SRs, but loose packs, ooh, don't do that. Don't, no. Do not do that, everybody. All right, so let's talk about Nikki. This is probably going to be the last Weiss video I do here. I think I've only got 1 or 2 more Weiss videos in the queue, and that'll be it for many months. Let's talk about the Nikki thing. We've already talked about quintuplets. By the way, before I move on from the quintuplets conversation, I do want to add one more thing, and that is I think the quintuplets sealed product and these things are still mispriced. I don't think the market truly understands the value. And long term, the fact that we think we can see a price go from $50 a box, SR. Which one is this? Mother and Her Memories. We haven't had that one, I don't think. The fact that we can see a Weiss box go from literally 50, like up 70% in like 30, 60 days, you know, that kind of movement tells me that's how jittery the market is. You know, a box of cards should not be moving. Oh, God, really? Oh, it is a double. I was like, wait a minute, is that double? That is. That's an SR. That one has just almost no foiling and treatment, though. I haven't seen that before. Look how subtle that is. Dang. Cheering from the sidelines. I almost missed that one. That is one of the most subtle SRs I've ever seen. There's like no specialty foiling or anything on it. Holy smokes. That's tricky little devil there. But anyways, I do think it just reinforces what I've talked to you guys about all along, is that, you know, the prices and things in the market, and, you know, stores and employees and LGSs and people pricing things, you know, they can be wrong. They can be mispriced. I tell people that all the time. You know, it's like Wall Street does the same thing. You'll see stocks that are, you know, selling for so much dollars per share. They report earnings and the market goes, wait a second, this company's doing what? This company's making how much money? And that kind of thing. And then the market swings because people don't know, you know? And I think that's tough for people to understand. I think people really do grasp, oh my God, really? Last pack in the box? Are you serious? Oh, that is beautiful. Flashcards, wow. That might be the best art I've seen on the SR. Like, the other SR didn't even have like any shine or anything special. That was a beautiful SR, everybody. Holy smokeroonies. All right, got a little topper there. She's just kind of looking around. All right, folks, we're getting towards the end here. Here's box 8. I'll go ahead and set up box 9 here. So that's just a kind of a friendly reminder to kind of remind everyone how this stuff works. Is just the market can trick you, okay? The pricing of the market can be wrong. You know, it can really bamboozle you. And I think that's kind of the thing I really want to drive home in this video. Because, again, you could have bought this set, boxes and cases, in the lows of the crash for probably $40, $50 a box because stores thought they were worthless and nobody wanted it and this and that. The chase cards are all garbage. And, you know, markets can change. And markets can be really wrong. And, well, prices can recover, prices can swing, and that's how it works, everybody. That is the important thing to keep in mind, and it can be frustrating, okay? It can be really frustrating because I know people out there, and I've had people, like, think about this. What about somebody who sold me a Magic collector box or a Pokemon collection in 2022 or 2023 when everything was terrible? And now, in 2025, it's like, oh my God. The prices, they've doubled, they've tripled. Look at this, and oh my... See, that's my point of this stuff is, you know, it's very easy to feel a certain happiness or anger based on what the market does, because it can be very frustrating there, everybody. And that's the thing. Headphone. That is an SR we have not seen. I don't know, that flashcards one was awesome in that foiling, man. That's going to be tough to beat. That flashcard SR, man, that was beautiful. So, Arik, overall, great video. Way better than our last Weiss opening with the other patron here. You've got some really good hits and everything. I don't know if you hit like a super... I'm not sure the value of the single cards or anything like that. I'm definitely going to check. Especially how many SRs you get. Like, oh my God. But then at the same time, a little mosaic, that's a double rare. There are some Weiss sets. And I had a patron a while back ago who sold single cards of Weiss. And he would message me every time I do one of these videos. And he would say, Rudy, you don't understand how much money is even in the double rare slot. And I said, really? And he would tell me, he says, yeah, he would buy bulk Weiss. And he would sell things. And he said in the double rare slot, he would recoup so much money. Certain sets have double rares that can be $5, $10 a card. And he would constantly make money from it. And I thought that was quite an interesting thing. All right. But anyways, moving on. We are going to finish this strong. I don't know if we're going to get anything else. This is the last pack, so now we're about to enter the very last box, everybody. Again, I'm not expecting much bigger stuff in the end here. We've already hit so many things, but I guess my closing comments to everybody out there is if you've never really explored the Weiss world, I really think you should give it a shot. And actually, I know you're going to laugh, but oh, no way. No way. Ladies and gentlemen, the Towel Girl, sudden approach from Mrs. Nino. She's got a little something on her face, too. We got the SR of the Towel Girl. At least she has a towel. The other one never found the towel, remember? But anyways, my closing comments to everybody out there is I encourage you to actually try the game of Weiss. Actually, like, build a deck. If you're into quintuplets, you're into slime, you're into whatever, build a deck based around that particular, cards that are compatible and the IP that matches. And again, if you're not sure, you can always check the website. It tells you what sets that you can add on to and everything. Or it has cards for more support of a certain brand or anything. But I encourage you to try it. And also, it's just, God, the chase cards, the quality is just such a good thing, man. Like, if you've never handled one of these chase cards and you're coming from, like, Magic or Pokemon, like, the card quality, you're going to be blown away by what the cards feel like compared to what you're used to. You're going to be like, oh my God, Magic and Pokemon feel like, compared to these things, it's kind of a little bit of an eye-opener thing the first time you handle Bushy Road Weiss cards or any of these type of things compared to coming from the other card games. Because the card stock and the feel of the cards, like, some people think they almost feel like plastic. Ooh, there we go. One more little disguise with glasses. I like the knockoff Starbucks cup. Do you see that? How cool is that, everybody? So that's all. That's my closing statements. And the last thing I want to add to this video before we cut everything off, she never found a towel. She's still looking to the left. The last thing is just remember, folks, don't take the prices short term online too seriously, because Weiss prices are some of the most aggressive. Ooh, oh, no way! Right in the close! Triple rare! The memories of quintuplets! No way! That's a nice ending. What a perfect ending arc. Great video. Multiple triple rares, over the frame, SP case hit, tons of SRs. Awesome video today, everybody. Fucking fantastic. But yeah, that's final comments, everybody. Be careful thinking a Weiss set is a huge success or a huge failure, because when you go online, you see one or two sellers that are fire selling a couple loose boxes. People have done that for years. Rudy, why do you like quintuplets? I found one seller with for $55, $60. They got like 2 boxes. This is terrible, and it's a couple years old. No. That doesn't reflect the market or the sentiment or the singles. Those are just dead mapped boxes probably that they're just selling to just break even after shipping and fees or just recoup money because they already pulled crazy stuff like this. Just be careful about that, okay? There's a lot of opportunity. There is a lot of money in this, okay? Bushy Road wouldn't be making the Schwartz game here approaching 15 years if it wasn't massively big. And trust me, and if you think the English Weiss Schwartz approaching 15 years old, look at the Japanese market for Weiss Schwartz. Oh my goodness. It's insane. Like in Japan, these other countries, it's like in the top 3-4 card games in size, like bigger than Magic and stuff like that. It's unbelievable. So have a beautiful day, everybody. I hope you guys learned something.